Hi everyone, Kirra Michel here. We have another 30-minute Vinyasa flow class coming up. Optional, you can use your blocks if you'd like, not necessary though. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right guys, let's go ahead and sit either in a cross-legged position or in Virasana on your shins like I am. Just find something that feels good. We won't be here for too long. I'd like you to close your eyes. If closing your eyes doesn't feel good, I invite you to soften your gaze. And to start by tuning in, bringing your attention and your awareness into your breath. Breathing in through the nose for a count of 4. Expanding the belly. And exhale, release for 4. Empty. As we're breathing like this, start to soften the different areas of your body. The areas you know you automatically hold tension in. Some of the go-tos are the jaw, the eyes, the forehead, the shoulders, soften them down, the belly. And then see how you feel after taking about, I don't know how many, 6 or 7 deep full breaths like this. See the new space that you've created for yourself. All right, slowly start to flutter your eyes open. And let's go ahead and make our way to a downward facing dog. Spread your fingers out nice and wide, hips up and back, and pedal it in here. Bend one knee, straighten through your opposite leg and switch, switch. Maybe sway your hips side to side, feel the length through the sides of the body. Good, on your inhale, slowly start to ripple forward into your plank pose. Take your time to get there, pressing through your shoulder blades. Check in with yourself where the pelvis is. We don't want it to be lifted, we don't want it to be drooping down. Try to find that happy medium in between. Belly is lifting in and up, so you're feeling your belly start to heat up because it's working. Slide the knees down to the ground, come into your child's pose. Drop your head down, full deep inhale here. And exhale. On your next inhale, slowly start to roll yourself on up. So we're sitting back on our shins. Go ahead and lift up out of this, circle your arms out around all the way up towards the ceiling. Lift up a little bit taller, a little bit higher, and then on your exhale, find a little bit of a back bend. It's really early for this, so it doesn't have to be deep. Just lift up out of your back, send your chest and heart open towards the ceiling and cactus your arms out. Squeeze your glutes, press your glutes towards your kneecaps. And on your exhale, child's pose. Sit your butt all the way back down, hands reach out long. Gaze it forward. I'd like you to roll into a Bhujangasana, low cobra. Stay down close to the ground, lift up chest, open up heart. Slide your shoulder blades down along your back. On your exhale, forehead comes down to the ground. So we're gonna work a tiny bit of strength here. We're gonna tuck the toes, slide the kneecaps, the thighs up off the ground. If you feel strong with your push-ups, stay here. If your push-ups feel a little weak right now, keep your knees dialed down. Not a bad thing at all. Slowly start to lift. We come up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the knees down, cat-cow, dip down through belly, pick up through your chest. Exhale, round through your spine. Again, cow pose. Drop the belly down, lift the pelvis up, hold here, tuck your toes, downward facing dog, slide your hips up and back. We're gonna do that again one more time, a little bit faster. Inhale, roll forward, 1 vertebra at a time. Good, drop your knees down, come into your child's pose, let your head be heavy. Slowly start to roll yourself on up. So we're sitting on our shins. Come to stand on your shins. Circle your arms out around, all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale, cactus your arms, pick up chest, open up heart. Good, come back to your child's pose. Reach out nice and long. Gaze it forward. Roll into your Bhujangasana, low cobra. Hands pressed into the ground, shoulder blades draw down along the back. Exhale, release it all the way back down. Tuck the toes, lift the thighs and knees off the ground, or keep the knees planted on the ground. Really strong plank position, lift it up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Downward facing dog, hips go up and back. 2 deep full breaths here. Reconnect back in. Use your down dog every single time you get here as a pathway back to connection, to breath, to self, settling the mind as much as we can here. Start to walk yourself up towards the top of the mat. Deep forward fold is where we meet. You're welcome to have the soft bend to your knees. The weight is pressing into the balls of the feet. Scoop up through the belly to drop yourself down. Hold on to opposite elbows and just shake it out, sway it out. Release your hands. Inhale as your half lift. Pick up chest, open up heart, lift up belly. Exhale, release it down. Again, inhale, half lift, open and hold. This time, send your arms out to the side. Press the weight into your heels, squeeze your glutes, lead with your chest, reach out around all the way up. And on your exhale, hands come down through prayer. Heel toe your feet together. Tadasana. All right, press down heavy through feet. Lift up through kneecaps and thighs. Core is active, open up chest. Circle arms out, around and up. Uttita Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana, half lift, open up through chest, through heart. Hands come down to the ground. Step yourself back, right foot, left foot, plank pose. All right, so we're gonna stick with this push up. So go ahead and come down, balls of the feet of the knees. We come down for 3, for 2, for 1. Lift it back up for 3, 2, 1. Child's pose, drop the knees down. Seat to heels, head to the ground, gaze forward. This time we slither forward into your Bhujangasana or upward facing dog. Thighs and knees lift up off the ground, chest and heart lift. Downward facing dog, press up and back. 1 more deep full breath here. Connect back in. Good, bend the knees, gaze forward. Step or float, top of the mat. Inhale as your half lift. Exhale, release it down. On your inhale, circle your arms out around, all the way up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands down through prayer into Tadasana. 1 more time like this. Inhale, reach. Exhale, forward fold, hinge. Inhale as your half lift, open it up. Hands come down to the ground. This time, left foot steps back first, long step. Right foot meets plank pose. We have the push up. If you need to drop down to your knees, do it, but keep the core really strong. Come down, 3, 2, 1. Lift up, 3, 2, 1. Child's pose. Drop down, drop back, gaze forward. Roll into your upward facing dog or low cobra. Lift and exhale, downward facing dog. Press all the way up and back. Connect in with breath. Inhale. Exhale, release. Bend the knees. Gaze forward. Step or float. Top of the mat. Inhale as your half. Exhale, release it down. Circle your arms out around. Reach up towards the ceiling. And exhale, hands come down. Tadasana by the sides. Let's start to change this up. Inhale, reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale is your half lift. Listen up, hands plant on the ground. You'll step your right foot a long step back. Come up to your fingertips, reach your chest and heart forward. Squeeze your feet towards each other so you feel the left hamstring starting to activate, left glute starting to fire. Reach your arms all the way up towards the ceiling. Have a soft bend to the back knee so you can drop the tailbone down. Pick your hip points up a little closer to ribs so core is active. Imagine you're in a boxing class and you're engaging. Really slowly start to tap the back knee down. We come down for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, all the way down for 1. Melt the hands down, lift up chest, open up heart. So make sure that your left heel is stacked underneath your left knee. Keep sending your chest and heart forward. Try to get as long as you can from your right knee all the way up to the crown of your head. If you have blocks or books and tight hamstrings, I'd recommend using them. Let's pull the pelvis back a little bit. Left toes pull towards your face. Now, you'll stack your hips directly on top of your right knee. Left heel presses into the ground and then drag your left toes to your face. If this feels like a really big stretch or you're feeling it behind your knee or underneath your sit point, have a little bend to the knee. Stick your butt out, reach your chest and heart further forward. Keep dragging the left toes to your face and just notice what that does to the stretch, how it changes things. And then press your left heel really heavy into the ground, like you're trying to stamp something out, and then scoot back with the left heel. Try to pull it back towards the right knee. Now this is an isometric stretch, so you're not actually gonna pull the heel back. You're just energetically pulling it back, and you can feel the hamstring starting to really, really tighten up here. So we're working for flexibility and strength at the same time. Go ahead and rebend through the front knee. Again, left heel underneath left knee, right hand presses into the ground or maybe a book or a block. Left arm reaches back. Keep your pelvis shifting forward and down. You'll pick up the back foot. Maybe you catch it, maybe not. Keep reaching. We're here for 3 and 2 and 1. Release it down. Circle your left hand forward all the way down. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee off the ground. Step back, plank pose. Let's find this push up, nice and slow. Lift it all the way back on up. Hold. Child's pose, drop knees down. Gaze forward, roll up. Upward facing dog, open. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll keep moving. Go ahead and bend the knees, gaze forward, step or float, top of the mat. Inhale's a half. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, circle arms all the way up. And exhale, hands come down through prayer into your Tadasana by the sides. Left side, circle it out, around and up. Exhale, forward fold, hinge. Inhale as your half lift, open it up. All right, hands plant down, left foot steps a long step back. Find that lunge, right heel underneath the right knee. Scoop up through the belly, circle your arms up towards the ceiling. Soft bend to the back knee, tailbone slides down, hip points press up towards your ribs. Slowly start to lower down for a count of 5, 4. Keep the left hip coming forward for 3, for 2, for 1. Untuck your back toes, bring your hands down. Find a really long spine here. So resist the urge to hunch and sink. We do that so much when we're sitting, when we're texting and typing. So lift up. And this might be a nice place where you do have your hands up higher, so you have more space here. So sometimes it feels like getting to the ground is like where we win in yoga, and it really isn't. If we're compensating, if we're sinking, we're just reinforcing all of this hunched over stuff. So one of the reasons why we come to yoga is to create new habits, right, in our body. So lift up. If you need to, you can have your hand on your knee. All right, Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. So the hips draw back, so the hips stack on top of the left knee. Right heel, imagine there's something there, there's a bug, you're trying to squish it down, and then pull the right toes to your face, and yep, that should get in there really good, right? Now, notice if you relax and then pull the toes back, how much of a difference that makes. If this is, again, pulling behind your knee or underneath your sit point, little bend, and then everyone starts to pull this femur bone, this big thigh bone, back into the hip socket, right? So pull it back, drag it back as you reach your chest and heart forward. Another good spot for blocks. Keep growing longer. Keep thinking about sticking your butt up to the ceiling rather than tucking it under. That'll change the stretch in your hamstrings. Rebend through the front knee, left hand plants, right arm reaches back. Notice how I've got a really long angle, diagonal from my right knee to my left knee. Keep that there rather than pulling your hips back. Keep shifting forward. Pick up the back foot. Maybe you can grab it with your hand and maybe not. We're not winning any awards for getting the foot, right? We're trying to reestablish a new normal in the body. 2 more breaths. If you're feeling okay here, maybe soften your gaze. Soften breath. All right, go ahead and release that down. Circle your hand all the way forward and down, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee off the ground and step back into your plank. Push up. I know we're doing a lot of push-ups, nice and slow. Time under tension will make you stronger. Whew. Child's pose, drop it back. And then roll forward and up, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog, press it back. All right, we keep moving, bend the knees, gaze forward, step or float, top of the mat, however you get there, take your time. Inhale, lift, open. Exhale, release. Circle your arms out around, all the way up. Utthita Hastasana. Exhale, hands come down by the sides, Tadasana. Chair pose. Sit it down low. Reach up high. Scoop up through the belly. Keep drawing the navel back towards the spine. Get really long. Make this strong. For 3. Exhale for 2. On your next exhale, forward fold, hinge at the hips. Head is heavy. Inhale, half lift, open up through your chest. Hands come down to the ground. Guys, you're welcome to step or float, but what we'll do is come back into that push-up, child's pose, up dog, down dog. So take your time with this. Nice and slow, push up. Child's. Up. Move into your breath, downward facing dog. Okay. Collect breath, inhale. Exhale, get a little deeper in this pose. On your next inhale, right leg shoots up and back. Scoop up, step your foot all the way through in between your hands. Plant the back heel on the ground, reach your arms out around. Warrior 2, sink it down a little bit deeper, headed towards a 90-degree angle in this front knee. Same thing I always say, squeeze your feet together as you sink down a little bit deeper. Gaze it forward, flip your front wrist. Stay down low in the right leg, reverse it up and back. Peaceful warrior. From peaceful, we'll come into Skandasana. Turn your left toes out, bend the left knee, reach your arms out to the side or bring your hands down to the ground. Good, so right toes are pulling to the face. We're working on this external rotation of the right leg. So sending the right knee and the toes up to the ceiling. And if you're feeling okay, maybe you are reaching 1 or 2 hands out. Lift up chest, open up heart. Gaze it forward. Extended side angle, crawl yourself back to the top of the mat. Right toes forward, left toes turn in a little. Forearm to thigh, left arm reaches up and over. If you'd like to have your hand down to a block or to the ground, you can, right? But remember, I keep saying the same stuff. There's no competition, there's no trophies for getting down nice and low, right? So if you need to find more space and this feels better in your body, keep lifted. But find that space in your shoulder, reach up and over. One more peaceful warrior. Stay down low on the leg, flip the front wrist, reverse up and back. And then circle your hands down, frame your front foot. We come to the ball of the back foot. Start to lean your chest and heart forward. We rise up into a warrior 3 pose. Reach through your fingertips, so much so that the triceps start to activate. Left outer hip is dialed down. Keep reaching for 3. Feel into the wiggles. For 2. Chair pose. Sit it down low, reach up high. Back to the start. On your exhale, forward fold, hinge at the hips all the way down. Inhale is your half lift, open up through chest. Hands come down to the ground. We're stepping or floating back into that same vinyasa, the push-up, child's pose, upward dog, into your downward facing dog. Modify it as much as you need to. I'd prefer to see a really strong push-up on the knees rather than a sloppy one where you're in your lower back on the balls of your feet. So always taking care of yourself. Left leg kicks up. Pull the knee into the chest, knee to nose. Press through your shoulder blades. Step all the way through. Back heel plants, warrior 2. Sit down low in the front leg. Back leg is really, really straight and strong. Gluing the pinky toe edge of the back foot down. Flip the front wrist, reverse up and back. Into our Skandasana. So turn the right toes out, bend the right knee, weight in the heels. Arms pull out to the side or hands on the ground. Now guys, all the weight is in both heels, right? So there's no weight in the balls of the feet. Keep it pulling back. Externally rotate your left leg, which means pull the left toes and knee up to the ceiling. Gaze it forward. Extended side angle, crawl yourself to the top of the mat. Turn the right toes in. Right arm reaches up and over. Find that length through the side of the body. Gaze on up towards the right palm. Lift up outer left shoulder. And then keep spiraling the chest open to the ceiling. Stay down low in the legs, nothing changes in the legs. Peaceful warrior. Reach the left arm up and back. There's no weight in the right hand. Circle your hands down, frame your front foot. Come to the ball of the back foot. Prep yourself for this. Right hip drops down. We reach up through chest and heart. Step into the left foot and start to rise on up. Reach back with your hands and fingers. Right outer hip dials down. Choose your drishti, something in front of you that's not moving. We're here for 3. Exhale for 2. If you fall, get right back up. You're human. Congrats, start again. 1 more. Chair pose, sit it down low, reach up high. Ooh. And on your exhale, forward fold, hinge at the hips. Last vinyasa, inhale, half lift. We've got the push up, child up to down dog. Step or floater back, take your time. We all meet in a downward facing dog. All right, you can cut. Collect your breath, come back. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. We'll begin to wind things down. Right leg kicks up and back, kick through the heel. Pigeon pose, scoop up through the belly. Pull the right knee behind the right wrist. Extend the left leg out nice and long behind you. Open up through chest, pick up your heart, and on your exhale, start to soften yourself down. Options, hands can come, head can come to the hands. You can reach your arms out long in front of you. Or if you need a pillow underneath your head, please get it. As usual, if this posture does not work for you, come to lay down on your back. And I say it doesn't work, meaning maybe there's a lot of pain in your knee, or you just feel really tight in your hips. You can come to lay down on your back and do a figure 4 pose, right ankle crosses on top of left knee there. So it's the same pose, it just doesn't have the extra weight of your body pressing on top of your knee and thigh. See if you can soften into this a little bit. Notice the areas you're holding your tension. Release and relax those. Okay. Gently bring yourself all the way back on up. We come to sit on the right butt cheek, swing your left leg around. So the left foot comes to the outer edge of your right knee. Work to get your left sit bone heavy onto the ground or as close to the ground as your body will let you. Right arm reaches up. Find a lot of space through the right side of the body. And on your exhale, hook your right arm to the outer edge of your left knee. Lift up through your chest, no leaning back, but find that element of lift and then twist around your spine. Get really broad and open through the chest. Inhale, tall. Exhale, twist deeper. 1 more. And exhale deeper. Come back through center. Counter rotate, twist the opposite side. And then come back through center. Go ahead and extend the left leg all the way back. We end up in our downward facing dog again. We switch sides, left leg kicks up. Pigeon pose on the left, knee pulls behind the left wrist. Extend the right leg out nice and long behind you. Now check that you're on the right knee and the toes are dialed down so we're not hanging out to one side, but we're right at the center so we're really getting into this stretch deeply. Lift up is your inhale. And exhale, start to release yourself all the way down. See if you can get out of your shoulders here. If you always just hang out up here in your shoulders, right? Lengthen. Find this more of a pelvis stretch and more of a glute and maybe hamstring stretch rather than shoulders. Notice if you're fighting this. All right, whenever we're dealing with pelvis, things tend to clench up. See if you can soften just by a couple of millimeters into this stretch. And see if you're clenching your teeth. Can you release that a little bit? The temples soften. 2 more breaths. Last breath. All right, walk yourself right back on up. Come to sit on your left butt cheek. Swing your right leg around, right sole of the foot, outer edge of the left knee. Work to get your right sit bone as heavy down to the ground as possible. Left arm reaches up to the ceiling. And on your exhale, we twist to the right. So again, rather than leaning back in this back hand, use it as a prop to reach and sit up taller. Exhale, empty the air out, twist deeper. Inhale, tall. Exhale, deeper. Come back through center. Counter rotate. This should feel pretty good, or at least it feels good for me. It's one of my favorites. Gaze past left shoulder. Good. Go ahead and come back through center. Extend the legs out, give them a little bit of a shake. And then step the soles of the feet down to the ground. We'll reach the arms forward, lift up nice and high, so reach your chest forward. And then slowly, 1 vertebra at a time, we start to roll back. Let's come down for 8, 7, 6, 5, hold. Walk the feet in a little bit closer. Start to resist gravity. Gravity wants to pull you down. You're strong enough to hold up. Come down for 4, for 3, and 2. All the way down. Let's get into some back bends. Walk your feet in nice and close. You should be able to feel your heels with your fingertips. Now make sure all 10 toes are going straight forward, unless you have knee pain. If you have knee pain, you can turn your toes out slightly. Press down through feet, press down through shoulders, lift the pelvis up towards the ceiling. Squeeze the glutes, start to walk your arms underneath your shoulders. Keep lifting, opening up through your hip flexors. Pull the chest towards the chin and then reach the chin further away from the chest. Breathe in nice and deep. And notice how we have a tendency to sink the weight to the pinky toe edges of the feet. I want you to do the opposite. Press down through big toes, lift up higher, and notice how that gets a lot more activation in the hamstrings. You have to work harder, unfortunately. But we're not here because it's easy, right? We're here to get a little bit of challenge in. 1 more breath. Lift higher, higher, higher. And exhale, soften yourself all the way down. 1 vertebra at a time. Knees tap at the center, left hand heart, right hand belly. Close your eyes. Big full breath. On your inhale, I really want you to expand so big into the belly that the belly presses into the hand. Okay, we've got 1 more back bend. You've got your choice to come into bridge, which is what we just did, or Urdhva Dhanurasana, which is full wheel. So if the case is full wheel, frame your ears, fingers face the toes, press down through feet, balls of feet, press down through hands, and let's lift all the way up. Collect your breath, inhale, and exhale for 3. Squeeze the glutes. Think about sending your glutes towards your kneecaps. Think about lifting up an open chest. one more breath. Slow motion, bring it down really gently. Head comes down, then the rest of the spine follows. Step your feet as wide as the mat, knees tap at center, left hand heart, right hand belly. Close your eyes. So we always want to neutralize the spine after back bends, right? It might feel good to automatically come into a forward fold, but those two extreme movements of the back bend well, it tends to be a lot. So we want to find that neutralized spine before you do a forward fold. To help neutralize, we'll tee the arms out. We'll drop both knees over to the left. If you'd like, put your left ankle on top of your right thigh, so you've got a little bit of extra weight there, and gaze to the right. Good, step it back down, come back through center. Knees drop to the right, right ankle on top of left knee, gaze to the left. Start to soften here, really just sinking into your body, sinking into your bones. Good. Come back through center. Knees draw into the chest. Wrap yourself up and in. All right, let's find 3 things that you're grateful for about today. Let them be little things, and let one of the 3 things be something about yourself. You might have had a really great conversation with someone today. You might have had a really nice cup of coffee. Let them be little. You might have seen, God, the sunset if you get up that early. I definitely don't. And then something about yourself. You might be having a really great hair day. It could be really just vain, and that's okay. Or you might have done something that was challenging for yourself. This class might be it. But step into that gratitude, and then I want you to really experience it. Touch it, taste it, feel it, smell it. So, okay, for me, I'm obsessed with matcha, right? Smell it, taste it, feel the warmth of the cup on my hands. Re-experience it as if it's happening right now. Almost sort of trick the mind into experiencing it again. And when we do that, the body can start to automatically soften and relax. And starts to release some good hormones into the body, maybe some serotonin, some of the happy hormones. And when you're ready, go ahead and extend your legs all the way out into your Shavasana, palms facing up, couple of feet away from the body. Now guys, this is where I'm going to leave you. Please, please feel free to stay in your Shavasana for at least 3 to 5 or more minutes, right? A lot of us actually just need to rest and restore right now. We're dealing with a lot of stress, and it's really good to find that element of release and relax. So please stay for a little bit of time. Namaste.